Welcome to Hospitality Live with Rupesh. Each week, we feature an industry leader that will share the latest trends and the best strategies to help you grow. Now, welcome your host, Rupesh Patel.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to episode, I don't even know what episode number this is. I think it's episode number 82. It is 82. Welcome to the show. Guys, comment and let me know if we are live on LinkedIn, because I don't have LinkedIn pulled up just yet, and I want to know that we are live. So thank you so much to everybody joining us. I want to know where you're watching from, and I'm going to give shout outs this morning because I feel really good about this episode, and I feel great that we're speaking to some powerful women in hospitality. You guys comment, let me know where you're watching from. I see Peggy in the house. Kimberly, hey, welcome. All right, we are live. She says we're live. All right, yes, good to go. Guys, comment. We'll let more people enter the room. We're live on Clubhouse, we're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. So we can be found anywhere. And guys, by the way, we are now posting these episodes on Spotify. So if you're listening to your favorite podcast player, you can go and pull this episode up and all the past episodes, past 81 episodes. This is number 82, guys. We are talking about how to use hotel technology to generate more profits, featuring Janine Williams. She's the CEO of Impulsify. Super excited to have her on the show. She's been a sponsor. Her company's been a sponsor for the last 2 months now. Super excited about that. Thank you so much. And all right, I'm gonna give some shout outs to people that are watching from, all right, we got Denver in the house. That's where Janine's from. Good morning from Fort Lauderdale. Alicia's on New York City. Hey. We have Denver in the house, live on LinkedIn. Mauritius, I love that. Massachusetts, Daytona Beach. What's up, Lord? PA, we are live. Guys, let us know where you're watching from. I love this. Abu Dhabi's in the house. Dubai's in the house. Comment, let me know. I'm going to pull you guys up to the up on screen. We got Qatar in the house. Anybody from Orlando in the house? I think there are a few people from Orlando watching. Guys, good morning to everybody. This episode, I'm super proud. Janine has built a company that, she has over 1,000 hotels now as clients. I'm super excited about this because this episode is going to help you if you're running a hotel, if you're talking about helping hotels. This episode is definitely going to help you. You're going to learn which technologies can that you're missing at your hotel that could help you make more money, which we all need right now as we all improve and grow our occupancy in our in our business. Learn how to drive incremental revenue, and then Janine's going to give us a free guide. I have it right here. It's a free guide that's going to probably if you just have this guide, it's going to make you. It's going to bump up your retail sales in your grab and go gift shops, marketplace, anything that you have as far as you're selling stuff at your hotel. This episode is for you. And by the way, I'm going to pull it up. This episode definitely is brought to you by Impulsify. And let me just bring up Janine because this is her company. I would love for her to actually talk about it. So, hey, Janine.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Great. Early morning in Denver.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on early. You've been sponsoring. Thank you so much for sponsoring these last 2 months. And I'm so proud of what you've done as far as built this company out. And we've been connected for quite some time now. And I'm so happy that you can sponsor, but I'm appreciative that, you're supporting this episode and actually these past episodes. Tell us what Impulsify does and how hotels that are watching can generate more revenue.
Absolutely. We're happy to sponsor. And I have to tell you, we love what you do as well. It is always about supporting the hospitality industry. It is always about helping them. It's such a selfless act of what you're trying to do to just bring information, bring people that want to do similar to truly love this industry. And we do. So Impulsify, we are 8 years old, a woman-owned startup company, bootstrapped many years ago, kind of a miracle story, but we now have 1,000 plus hotels. We just broke the 1,000 mark in February. It's so amazing. It's such a journey, and getting to work with so many amazing hoteliers and groups. But it's we really specialize in that grab and go retail space. It used to be such a headache, kind of in the corner, like a little. They called it the pantry, which I think is a horrible word. It is beautiful real estate and should be great real estate that really has an immediate ROI for owners and for the managers, while providing this great guest experience too. And so we built technology to simplify that, make it really easy, make it profitable. It was never a profitable store in the past. They had slim margins, if any, a lot of theft, a lot of issues, and we just built technology to eliminate those problems and really help hoteliers succeed in that space.
Well, we're going to get more into the details of exactly what you guys offer and how hotels can make more money right now, today, by just learning a few things and learning these tips and strategies that can really help them increase their, some of their profitability, especially right now as things are improving in our space. And I'm so excited, so thankful that you could sponsor these past episodes. And I love our partnership so much. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to keep you on. And, every week I talk about, and by the way, every week I say, somebody put this in the banner or in the comments, because I continuously forget it. It's Rupesh.co/Impulsify. If you want the 2021 bestsellers guide, you'll discover the most popular items that your hotel should be selling today. If you're not, you better run out and go get it, because you're missing opportunities. So download, and somebody put this in the comments. Somebody put in Rupesh.co/Impulsify in the comments. And by the way, click on it, put your name and email in there so we can send you a free guide right now. It's an automated system where you're going to be able to get this free guide that's going to help you improve. Now, we're going to talk more about that as we continue. So thank you so much to Impulsify for sponsoring. All right, so every week I talk about a mindset. And this week's mindset, I think, super important as we all continue growing and kind of improving what we're doing. And this week's mindset, I'm going to talk about it. It is: be so busy improving yourself that you don't have time to pay attention to anything or anyone that distracts you from your growth. Have you heard of that before? Are you doing that right now? I would love to hear the comments if you're doing that. Super important. Be so busy improving yourself that you don't have time for anybody else that's distracting you from your growth, right? Super, super powerful as we talk about growing ourselves. Janine, do you do that? Have you done that as you focused on building your company?
1,001%. We have kind of an internal tagline: thoughts become things, choose the very best ones. And so, in the best of times, keep working, keep improving. In the worst of times, keep believing and keep focused on your goals, because you manifest so much of the outcome if you take a negative or a positive approach to it. So just continuously growing and staying positive, especially through this last year. It's just essential to not just survival, but thriving in the storm.
Yeah, and absolutely. And a lot of times in our life, we see other people doing things, and then we get distracted because now we want to do what they're doing, right? Or we see that shiny object syndrome where you're like, I want to go do that now, and then today I want to go do this. I think we need to stay focused in our own lane, which I talk about a lot of times. Just stay in our lane and stay focused. And I think that can keep us going as we see other people maybe doing better than us, which is okay. Be happy for them, right? Your turn will come. And I feel like that's important when we're trying to grow ourselves. All those distractions in our life can really bring you down, and it can stop you from growing. So that's my mindset for this weekend. I continue growing just by staying focused on what I love to do and what I'm passionate about. So I hope that helps all of you. And now I'm going to bring on my buddy Sarah with the Hospitality Minute.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dandashy from Ask a Concierge. Every week, I'll be sharing the latest hospitality and travel news and updates in a segment we like to call Hospitality Minutes.
What's up, Sarah?
Good morning from the same time zone, Rupesh.
Welcome to Florida.
Thank you. It's so great being here. Yeah, just got here actually yesterday. So for those of you guys that don't know, I'm actually just outside the Fort Lauderdale area in Delray Beach. I'm at the Aloft Delray Beach. Woo-hoo. Check out the nice background. Woohoo! Exactly. But yeah, I wanted to join you guys today and share what's happening in the world of hospitality. You ready? Okay, cool. Okay, so perfect. Big thing that's happening this week, or certainly an announcement. Four Seasons has actually announced that they, as part of their 60th anniversary celebration, they have really made this announcement that they're really looking forward to continue to growing their portfolio. And that's really exciting to hear because, of course, in the world of luxury hotels, to hear that they are planning ahead and they've got a lot of properties in the pipeline it bodes very well for the future. They do have a couple of domestic locations that they are looking at, from Napa Valley, New Orleans, Fort Lauderdale, Minneapolis, Nashville, but they're also looking at some international destinations as well too, from Italy, Colombia, and more. They they have gone ahead and they've signed 9 new hotels and resorts and residential projects, which is actually making it the second year in a row that they have the most new deals in the company's history. So yay for them. Again, that looks really, really good moving forward. Love to hear that as far as what is going on with Four Seasons. So another fun thing that's happening in the world of travel is actually JetBlue. They are considering moving their headquarters to Florida. Oddly enough, they're probably looking between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Now, what's so interesting is that their headquarters currently are based in New York City, but they, with everything sort of changing with this sort of hybrid work environment, they are thinking of coming down here. Now, they already have a training center here in Florida, but again, this is notable because it's like they have about 1,300 employees that work at their current location in Long Island, but then to be moving that down here, again, it looks really good. And all of these shifts are just kind of reflecting different shifts that are happening within the country as well too. So that's definitely something that people are looking into. And then our final topic for today is Disney World. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. Disney World is testing facial recognition technology. So specifically here, so in Orlando at Magic Kingdom, they have started this pilot program. And it's optional right now. So it's actually, and it's taking place through April. Basically what they're doing is they're capturing the images of guest faces and they convert it into a unique number, which is then associated with their form of admission. So those that opt to participate, they get directed to enter in through like a test lane. They can take off all of their accessories, leave on their face coverings because that is still required at Disney World. And then they are testing out this technology. So basically when they're looking to use this so that when people are looking to re-enter the park, that they can use that technology as opposed to a ticket, etc. So really curious to see how that will play out. But yeah, so that's it for the Hospitality Minute. Oh, wait, why can't I hear you, Rupesh? You might be muted.
I always screw something up every week.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Sarah, thank you so much and I'm super, what are you doing in Miami? What are you doing in Fort Lauderdale?
Okay. So I actually am here over the next 2 days. I am going to be helping MC a hospitality event. It's a hospitality conference. It's called Hospitality 2021. You can find out more details at hospitality2021.com. I'll go back through and I'll just even put the link in here. And basically we've got speakers the next 2 days. It's going to be Thursday and Friday this week. We are doing a limited number of live or having people come join us in person. If you happen to be in the area and you want to stop by, send me a message. We'd be happy to have you. We are, again, doing a limited number, but really what we're doing is we're creating all this content, talking to these hospitality professionals from all over the industry, big companies, smaller companies, how they pivoted and changed in the past year, and what are the big lessons that they learned moving forward. We're going to be putting it in video content as well too. So think almost like TED Talks for hospitality. So you guys will also be able to watch the videos as well too. But definitely stay tuned, check it out. You'll be seeing a bunch of stuff from me, and it's awesome being here.
Absolutely, Sarah. Sarah has a book coming out, and
I do.
If you were any, and by the way, guys, I've never met Sarah my entire life. We've never met face to face.
I know.
Which, we've been doing this for quite some time now. We've been connected for a while now. And, eventually you're going to have to come to Orlando, or I'm going to have to come to LA one of these days and do a live show together. If you would love that, hit the comments and let us know if you would want Sarah and I to do a live show together. And I think that'd be super awesome. I would love to learn more about how you have grown your following, because you have a huge following. Let me see if I can pull it up, and then I know we're sharing something. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
We're doing this, but where can people find you? And then we'll talk about the boot camp that we're doing.
Cool. Yeah. We have to talk about the boot camp. So yes, you guys can find me all over social media. My handle is Ask a Concierge, or definitely connect with me here on LinkedIn. Send me a message, so that you know that so that I know that we connected through the show. And I know Peggy over. By the way, Peggy's in Allentown, which is where my family's from. So always great to bring these virtual friendships and relationships to in person. But find me online, and then in April 10th. April 10th,
10th.
Rupesh, let's
Yes.
share the goods.
April 10th, we're doing so the last 2 times we did a boot camp, it sold out within days. Now we're doing, and that was a 3-part series, 3 days. This time we're doing it all in one day. It's a social media boot camp, April 10th, which is a Saturday, because I know a lot of people are like, I can't make the weekdays. I'm working. We understand that. And so we're doing it on a Saturday from noon Eastern time till 3 o'clock, and maybe longer if we need to answer your questions. But if you want to learn how to supercharge your profile and your posts, like if you're posting something on LinkedIn or Instagram, it's not getting anywhere. Like, this is your opportunity to learn and grow and figure out how you're going to be able to meet your goals as far as what you're doing on LinkedIn and on Instagram. Sarah has 28,000.
Something like that, yeah.
You have like a lot of followers, and I want to know how you got there with an approved check mark on Instagram. And I'll show you my secrets on what I've done to build over 46,000 followers now. And it's a strategy that we both use. And so we're doing a boot camp. If you want to learn more, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I forgot. Oh, there it is. No, I did. Sorry, I forgot to put it on. You go to Rupesh, rupesh.co/bootcamp. You'll be able to get all the details and register. We're closing this out here soon, the next week or so. But definitely join us. We're going to talk about this and help you. And this is a one-on-one live conversation with Sarah. Me, Sarah, and whoever's joining the live, or the live webinar. So if you're interested, go to rupesh.co/bootcamp. Happy to help you guys out. And Sarah, it's always a pleasure having you.
Always a pleasure. It's so nice being in your state. Buddy, next time we got to see each other in person. We got to make that happen.
And I think people are already saying they want to see a live. Yes.
Okay.
Larry says yes. So, and then Kimberly says Orlando or LA. I'm fine for wherever. So,
backed by popular demand, we will definitely make sure that we will do a live show together in some location, whether it is in Florida or whether it is in Los Angeles or somewhere else.
Guys, give Sarah a follow. She's amazing. And by the way, she's moderating Clubhouse right now. So if you're on Clubhouse, definitely join us after this event, because we're going to talk to Janine on Clubhouse through this conversation and just do a post show. So Sarah, thank you so much for your always sharing the good news. And I'm super excited that our industry continues growing. So
it's exciting. It's so exciting. And again, if you guys are in South Florida and you want to swing by, send me a direct message. We can figure it out. So thank you.
Slide into her DMs.
Slide into my DMs. I don't offer that all the time, but today, special offer for you guys.
All right, Sarah, I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys. Now to the episode featured with Janine Williams. Janine is the CEO of Impulsify. We've already brought her onto the show. I'm just going to bring her on now and really introduce you. Let me unmute you. There you go. Janine is the CEO of Impulsify. They help over 1,000 hotels, including let me make sure. Hilton, Marriott, IHG, Choice, and many, many independent hotels. Super excited that you built this company, and I love that it was you, that you're the founder, and you had this vision of just starting this company. And so I want to know more about your company. And, we talked about Impulsify for the longest time now, for weeks now, and people love it. And we've had a lot of people go get that free guide, which I'm going to talk about at the end of the show, on how hotels can improve their revenues through their grab and go, their market, all of those things that are important right now. Because, Janine, before the show, you said a lot of hotels in the past year have shut down their marketplaces. Well, that's a mistake. And we're going to talk about the mistakes that a lot of hotels make. Janine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And, we're talking about women-led companies, in the news right now. And I love that we have you on talking about how you built this company. And it was just you and a few people, right? So tell us the background story of your company. Then we'll get into all the strategies and some of those things as far as what you do to continue helping hotels.
Thank you so much. I love what we do, and I love who we do it for. So always appreciate a chance to get to share that joy with people.
Nice. And what does Impulsify do? If I met you in the elevator and you said, hey, I work for Impulsify, I'm the CEO of Impulsify, what do you guys do?
Impulsify is a company that specializes primarily in that grab and go space. We saw just a hole in the industry about 8 years ago. There was no data around what sold. There was no data around what was being purchased, what was the best sellers, what made money. And so my original meeting was with Marriott a decade ago. And I said, what are your best sellers? Tell me what sells, because I'm obsessed with the data. I don't like doing things just because one person really likes that flavor or this looks pretty to the designer. I'm obsessed with the data-driven approach to things that has kind of a science behind it. So there was no data. And as all of you know, when you sell something in your store, if you're not using one of our solutions, you basically just say candy, $2. And there is no clue what's sold, how many are left, did it make money, how much did it cost? And so you're flying blind, and you can't do that in any aspect of a business. You need metrics, you need KPIs to know if you're succeeding. And so we built, our first product was Impulse Point. I am not a software specialist. I'm a former English teacher, stay-at-home mom. So it was kind of a laugh, haha, that Janine was going to go build software. But it's all about mindset. And if you put your mind to something and you surround yourself by really good people that really understand the parts you don't know, there's literally nothing you can't do. So Janine Williams built software.
Yeah. And when I heard that story, I'm like, what? What do you mean? She's like not a developer. She doesn't know anything about business as far as like how to start it. You just fell into it and you had this passion. You just kept it going, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's a funny story, but I actually met my tech partner on Facebook. 1 o'clock in the morning, having a meltdown. I totally want to build this software. I don't know anything about software. Put a post on Facebook at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, I have an amazing idea, but I don't know how to build software. Is there anyone out there? I can market it. I can sell it. I know the space. Can I find somebody to help me build it? And it was literally kind of a friend of a friend of a friend on Facebook who was like, I'm in. And that is our very own Martin Zam.
That's awesome. Yeah, Martin's awesome. And I love that you guys have just started from like the ground up. So for anybody, not just women, anybody out there, like there are opportunities out there if you're going to go ahead and risk something or just put yourself out there. Even I know a lot of men too that are like, I'm afraid of doing this. And I love that you did that. Like, you know what? I don't care. And if I don't make this, what's the worst that's going to happen, right? And is that what you thought?
Somewhat. I mean, mine was really, and this is truly a shout out to all the single mamas out there, but I was a single mom of 4 kids. Failure was not an option. And I do not know how to say that enough. I always say Impulsify was born of kind of equal parts stubborn determination and a whole lot of desperation to get out there and do something that I could support my children on while still being able to participate tremendously in their lives. 4 kids is a lot. And so that's really where it came from. But I would say that honestly to any entrepreneur who has a great idea, it isn't what you know how to do. It's what you're passionate enough to go and figure out. And if you will do the work and do the research and surround yourself with smart people, you can make amazing things happen.
Right. And I love that. And, just recently, with COVID and everything going on, I lost my dad in October from COVID, and you lost your mom just recently, like over a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry that, your family had to go through this. I know how you feel when you lose somebody, especially in this time where so many different things are happening, so many different changes are happening. You've kept it resilient. That's what I love about you. Like, you just keep going. And I know there's great that's coming out of, losing somebody, because it's hard. And I love that story that you posted on LinkedIn. That guy, I think of over 1 million. How many people looked at that profile?
It was crazy. I've never experienced that. It was like 2 million people, 1.5 million people, 60,000 comments. I didn't even know how to respond. I would ask you, how do you do it every day? Because funny thing about that, I posted it very late at night. She was my foster mom, took care of me when I was a foster child in junior high, and lost her in February unexpectedly. And I didn't know how to honor her. And so I just wrote what she did for me as a woman seeing a young girl in desperate need of some direction. And I did it like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I set it down. And in the morning I woke up and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, what did you just do? That was LinkedIn. Like, that was very personal. That was not business. And I went to delete the comment. I actually went to delete the post because I thought, oh, that was not LinkedIn content. It had already hit like 100,000 people. It was insane. That'll make me cry.
There it is, right here. Let's see, 61,000 likes, 3,404 comments, and it just continues growing.
It did. It was picked up by the female influencer, which is such a great, they do an amazing thing of just sharing amazing women's stories of women's resilience and successes. So it was picked up by them as well. Went around the world. To me, there is no greater way to honor Mary Hudson than to share with the world that literally one small decision one day can impact someone's life forever.
Yeah, we've all been through a loss. We've been through challenging times this past year. What's good that's come out of it? Because I know you just said that you're going to do this charity.
We are.
And can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, Impulsify, we are dedicated to a core value that we call crazy giving. We define it as the kind of giving that hurts a little bit. It's beyond your 10%. It's beyond what your CPA thinks is reasonable for charitable giving. And so we always do that. We've supported internationally for years, but our people at home are hurting right now very badly. A lot of domestic abuse, a lot of domestic issues surrounding women and children, and I just have a special heart for that. So we're going to be supporting a campaign called A Bed for a Bed. We're partnering with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, who builds beds and delivers beds, mattresses, linens to homes that desperately need that, particularly foster homes. In my post that I posted, I literally slept on a couch for a year in the 8th grade because they were willing to take me in, but didn't really have anywhere to put me. And so Sleep in Heavenly Peace provides a bed for children, or bunk beds, which is super fun. And we're going to be supporting that. And the thought process behind it is travel stopped, and there's a lot of pent up demand for travel. There were a lot of corporations that would have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on travel this year. In exchange for the bed that you didn't purchase, would you donate a forever bed, is what we're calling it, to somebody who just needs a safe place within a home. So we're going to be announcing that on LinkedIn, announcing it through all of our social media, ways that you can support just helping get a bed to a child in need.
Oh my God, I could see so many hotels that would love to be part of this. Guys, if you would be willing to be part of this, this charitable great cause, put yes in the comments so Janine can send you more information as she rolls this out, and maybe you can be the first to be notified. So hit the like button or heart button right now and hit yes, so that way we know that you would be part of it. And I think the hotel industry is so resilient. They're so helpful. You're going to get donations from all of us that are willing to support this cause, because I know that there's so many adults hurting, but there's so many children that don't have an opportunity to grow or don't have the resources to grow. So thank you so much for doing that. I know there's always good when there's, a hard part of your life. There's always something good that comes out of it. And I love that you're doing this. As we all went through the pandemic this past year, a lot of hotels were shut down. A lot of hotels had to get creative on their ways of making it, improving their income. And a lot of hotels shut down their grab and grows, their marketplaces, their gift shop, their pantry. And now hotels are opening back up with their pantries. And so I want to talk about what Impulsify does to kind of help support that as people open up and what people should consider. Then I want to talk about the mistakes too. So what did you see this past year with hotels and what they were doing for their grab and goes? Because, people didn't want to touch things and they wanted to make it easy.
Yeah, we saw, I think that's what's interesting about having our software deployed. We can see exactly what's going on in different markets, what's going on in Florida versus New York versus California, what's going on in South Dakota versus Little Rock, Arkansas. We can see so much of that. And we saw I think what stunned me was such a variety of responses. You had hotels who, rightfully so, please don't think I don't know the pain and the fear and the frustration that occurred last year, but they just shut down. They got rid of everything. They didn't want to buy food to put in there. And then the guests had to find food and beverage. I mean, with restaurants closed, breakfast closed, buffets closed, the social hour closed, guests still need food and beverage on premise. The only way that they could do that was packaged food, which is what we specialize in. So we saw hotels that completely shut down and offered nothing, and all of their revenue went to Grubhub. I don't know how many front desk associates watch Grubhub deliveries coming in. That's, just dollars and dollars and dollars. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we saw those hoteliers, and you know who they are, that were like, how do we tackle this? How do we overcome this? How do we solve this problem in the midst of absolute impossibility? A lot of them, for the more focused service or full service, they switched their kitchens into preparing packaged foods. And we did a whole article in the Playbook about how you can quickly offer packaged foods. Just buying the product on Amazon.com, sticking a sandwich in there, a wrap, a yogurt parfait, really easy, putting that in the store. When it's there and on premise, the guests will buy it. And so we saw hotels go to $0 revenue, and we saw hotels go to $20,000 a month. That's no joke. $20,000 a month in revenue coming out of that space. And these are not massive stores. Yeah. It's really, to me, it is mindset, like you talk about. If you shut it down, it will make no money. And if you look at it strategically, how can we change, pivot what we offer? How can we increase meals so that our revenue isn't leaving? There are so many things that can be done during this time to actually earn more revenue, not less.
Yeah, and I love that. We're going to talk about your guide, because this playbook right here can make you money and optimize what you're selling right now, which I can't believe people are already using some kind of technology to help improve their business, because I think that's important, because it's kind of like we wrote down in the book for the log book. I'm sure every hotel has a book that's a log book that they write down what happened during the day, and now all that's converted over to online. There's so many different platforms that you could do that with. So the same thing when you're selling stuff through your gift shop. And let me share a story with you. Back in the day, we used to own a full service hotel and we used to have a gift shop there. And our family would go run to Sam's and go buy like hot dogs. So we would sell hot dogs, buy bulk chips, like the little ones, right? 20 per pack or 32 per pack. Buy all this stuff and then put it up on our shelves. And we would be like, all right, let's charge 30% more than what we bought it for. And that will be our amenity. Well, we quickly realized that we were selling really quickly, and then we had to keep going back to Sam's. Well, I was like, well, can't we charge a little bit more, because we're actually not making that much money? And so that was an opportunity. When I thought about what you guys are doing, it makes sense. You guys are looking at the data saying, all right, this is what you bought it for. Here's how much you actually should be selling it for. Here's what the national average is. And I think a lot of hotels make the mistake of like going to Sam's or going and buying it from their vendor, but then all of a sudden they don't know how to price it, because that's important. Like if you're just selling stuff and maybe doubling or adding 30% or whatever the case is, you're making those numbers up, you're losing a lot of money. And by the way, there was often times where we said, you know what, I think somebody will buy this mac and cheese, this frozen mac and cheese, for like 4 times as much, because we bought it for $1 and we're going to try to sell it for $4 or $5. Then it never sold, and then we had to throw it away because after it was all hard in the freezer. Like we've also seen those stories where like you have to dust stuff off your gift shop, your products off your gift shop, and because it doesn't sell, right? So there's a balance between all of that when we're talking about moving items, because that's what you're there to do. Like you're there to sell the most popular items that your guests want.
Right.
And we made so many mistakes in the past. So what are mistakes that hotels make right now beyond what I just shared?
Exactly that, overpricing or underpricing. We see exactly that, both. Either they're gouging because they're afraid, oh, it's not gonna sell, so I have to make up for the 5 that didn't sell, and then it doesn't move, like you said. Or they're grossly underpricing for something that a guest would be more than happy to spend $2 on instead of 50 cents. We see things sold for 50 cents in the market. We look at things from what we call a profit per linear inch. So how many linear inches do you have in your store between your refrigeration, dry goods, shelf stable, those convenience items like the toothbrush and the toothpaste and the deodorant, and oh my gosh, I forgot my contact solution, all of those things. And we look and we say a blended margin across all of it. Some things you can get a 400% markup for. You can. If you pay 20 cents for a bottle of Nestle water, you can sell it for $2. There is nothing you can't sell for $2. That's kind of we call it the psychological flinch point. There is no flinch point at $2. So we look at that, but then we try to keep everything in this kind of $2 to $12 range, so that the guest has a psychological expectation that they're not going to pick up a bag of cookies and it's $19. You don't want to do that to them either, because that's a bad guest experience. They'll put it back, and you won't move it. So our system it aggregates, I think we're at 50 million transactions now. It aggregates all of the UPCs, that little barcode on the back, and it says, this is sold in 700 stores, and here's the average cost of that item that people are paying for it. Here's the average price that it's being sold for. And then from that, our system suggests a retail price that fits nearly any market. We do know that there's premiums. A JFK airport in normal times gets a lot more for a bottle of Coke than other locations, but it gives a starting point for an owner or a manager to look at a product and say, how much should I sell that for? So again, based on data, a lot of data, here's what you can and should sell this for to make sure that you're profitable.
Right, and not just making up stuff. And I'm sure, and guys, comment, let me know if in the past you've put stuff on the shelf just because you like it, and then it doesn't sell, and then you're like, damn, I gotta buy this thing myself. I gotta take it off the shelf and cut the loss, because oftentimes you see stuff on the shelf for I've stayed at hotels where the same thing's been there for months. I was there last month and it's still there, and that's a bad experience for your guest, right? They're they don't really care about their shop. They don't care about me. I feel like that's when I'm looking from a guest perspective. I'm like, well, they're not looking out for what I want. And so, a quick tip would be go and research, go talk to your favorite guests and ask what they want, right? As a tip, as a strategy. Because if you're just selling stuff with what the employees want, yeah, you might sell a few, but think about the hundreds and hundreds of guests that are walking into your door now that are going to be walking to your store this summer and really getting what they want. But I like the opportunity where you connect, and this is what you guys do. You take an old, worn out pantry or gift shop or marketplace, and you use design, you use technology, and then you use just self-service as the 3 components of what makes you guys stand out from anybody else that might even be selling stuff in their marketplace. Can you talk about the design part at the beginning?
Absolutely. So traditionally, as we said, it was kind of referred to as a pantry, and it looked like a pantry. I grew up in Costa Rica. I lived there a long time as a kid, and there were always these little stores under someone's house called pulperias, and it literally had 4 dusty deodorants.
The bodega.
That's la bodega. So I said, that should never be the case in a hotel lobby, regardless of if you're select service, full service, focus service, extended stay. You invest in that lobby. That is real estate, and it should not be a complete departure from the design aspect and all of the attention to detail. I have watched designers take a week and a half to choose the pillow that's going to sit on the couch, but then they just push a refrigerator against the wall and an IKEA bookshelf and rip off the top of M&Ms and stick it on the shelf. And that is not an extension of the brand. That is not an extension of the experience you're creating. So we do a combination. We call it a balance of art and science. It needs to look beautiful, like part of your brand or part of the rest of the lobby space, but it also needs to be science. So a lot of times we have designers, they make it so pretty and there's no science behind it, and so it can't make money. You put this tiny refrigerator in, that's 62% of your profit comes out of that refrigerator. It should not be a little half door stuck under a counter because it's cute there. So we take the data and we design the stores around the data of what is going to move the most. Design it that way, and then make it pretty. Then we work with the designer to say, what are the finishes that you're using? So we really design programs, retail programs, more than interior design, to help them just really maximize, if they have a 8x10 or a 10x10 or a 10x20, that they are utilizing every inch from a scientific strategic standpoint to make money.
Yeah, and Martin's commenting, I would love for the folks that are watching to go and follow Impulsify's LinkedIn page. Like, you see before and after shots from past that you've done. And I love that you show this old worn out this room, basically, that maybe it was a room that they converted into their gift shop.
Yes.
And it might be connected to their front desk, but then you just go in and transform the entire location or the entire room into like something that's inviting with lighting and just aesthetics. I love that. And that brings people in instead of like this dark room that there's no lights. It's kind of scary. Like, am I going to get
creepy
or something in there? And I love that you guys are doing that. So along with technology, it's the self-service that made it really popular as COVID and as we went through, not being in front of and connecting with people. What is the self-service part of the business that you guys do?
Sure. We had built, it's called, our solution is called Shop Pop. We had built that back in 2017 for a large global brand that was looking for a solution early, ahead of their time. And then Crown Plaza, when we did a complete revamp of Crown Plaza's stores, we did their design, their product assortment, and they made it essential to have that kiosk. It had to be part of their program. So they launched it there. When COVID hit, it went from, oh, that'd be cool to have. Some brands said, oh, that's not who we are at all. We want to engage with our guests, so we want them to come to the front desk. COVID changed all of that. And so we saw a lot of hotels immediately, like, I have to have that self-service kiosk. So we developed Shop Pop. It is a small format, all-in-one kiosk where they can scan the item. It retrieves the right price for them. They can charge it to their room or pay by credit card safely without having to impact that front desk. It was a cool amenity until 2020, and now we're just seeing more and more brands at the brand level reach out and say, we need it immediately, we need it in all of our hotels in order to keep that lobby experience kind of safe and contained for guests.
Yeah, and it's a great experience. It makes you money. It also is it prevents guests from waiting in line. Like, imagine you are trying to go into a shop that is busy or a hotel lobby that's busy. Now you're trying to check out with the front desk person that already has like 10 people in line. Guess what you're doing with that candy bar?
Yeah.
You're putting it back, right? Because you're like, I'm not
walking away with it.
We're walking away with this. We just lost everything, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there is some opportunity where you can put the design in self-service, which is like what everybody wants these days. Like, they want to do their own stuff. That's why you walk into an airport, you can check in, and you're more happier checking in at the kiosk than you are going and waiting in the line to try to check in your bags, right? Now it's just like, so why, as hoteliers, why can't we do the same with our gift shops, with our, even with our check-ins? Like, how do you make it automated where we're giving what the guest wants, right? And they want good design. They want it to be convenient for them. They want it to be easy for them. And that's what you guys do. So I love that you added the design, the self-service, and the technology to make a difference in the guest stay. Now, how can people drive profits? Because our title for this is how to use hotel technology to generate profits.
I know that not everyone right now can rush out and buy a point of sale that tracks it, but if you don't have a tool to measure, it is difficult. So that's really why we took and published that playbook. We took the data. If you don't have Impulse Pointer, you can't do that right now, to at least have the data. So the main thing right now, number one above and beyond anything else, is put product in the store. That we have seen across the board. I walk into stores right now, they're open, they have people in the lobby, and they have 4 smashed bags of Doritos and 3 cups of soup sitting on their shelf. That will not make money. They also are kind of relying on like a Cisco Foods or something that they already have that is more for food and beverage, on the side of a plate, like you were talking about the little 1 ounce bag. Getting retail product into that store is essential right now. If a guest walks by and it is empty or appears to be somewhat old, because that's the mindset, if you're not fully stocking your store, it looks like it's old. So I would just ask anyone for free, you can look at the playbook, choose 2 to 3 items off of each of the best sellers out of those categories. We are agnostic as to where you get it. For years, I was like, stop going to Costco, stop going to Sam's, you should get on an automated ordering platform. But I do understand right now more than ever, it is so much about cost. But hey, Costco delivers now, so you should not have to go out of your store. So does Vistar, so does your grocery, so does Amazon, your grocery stores. Keeping that store at least looking full. You can reduce the assortment, to the top 2 or 3 bestsellers within small categories, to the top 4 or 5 bestsellers within sodas, chips. Just offer a lot of it. Fill it. It has to be full, because the psychological mindset of a half empty or 2/3 empty store is it hasn't been maintained. I'm not going to consume that. And so that to me is the number one thing. Open those stores back up, put product on the shelf. Your guests right now need food and beverage. They need meals. And so we recently did an overhaul of a Candlewood Suites that was offering kind of bare minimums and your little mac and cheese and, the soup in hand and kind of the things that worked maybe 2 years ago. Now people need a meal. They're looking for a meal. So if you have a kitchen, creating 2 sandwiches, a salad, and a yogurt parfait will make all the difference to your guest. Offering, if you can't do kitchen, offering larger meals to them, either through your freezer or through just larger food options than that little Kraft mac and cheese or Chef Boyardee. That is not a meal, that is a snack. And so that is where we have seen tremendous results in the thousands and thousands of dollars, even the tens of thousands of dollars, are the hotels that pivoted to get little snacks and kind of dinky things off the shelf and put quality meals, quality snacks, and quality healthy items there for guests that are now relying on that space for their food and beverage.
Right. And and let's talk about the free hotel guide that you guys created, because with our partnership, as you sponsored these shows these past 2 months, I said, this guide needs to be out for everybody, like for free. Like there's no reason why we should be selling Cokes or whatever the most popular item is within the categories and selling it for above the price or below the price. I think there's a lot of opportunity just for all of us to kind of understand and really learn from it. But here's the guide. So kind of tell us what you guys did over the end of the year last year and what you guys have launched.
Yeah, I mean, last year was just shook everyone. Our initial response was just, how do we help? We genuinely just saw the people that we love and have cared for years struggling and afraid and closed. So we created that playbook as a resource. It was always a free resource. We want to share the data that we've collected to help anyone do better. If it's $50, $100 a night or a day in retail sales, that's a room you didn't sell. And it really does make up that difference. So we built it as a resource to say, if you want to add a store, here's how to design one. If you want to improve your assortment, here's what we saw in our data. If you want to add technology to track and understand it, here's what you need to do. And if you can't do any of those, here's just a checklist of what you should be doing every day to make sure that space is making money for you. So it's kind of our gift to hospitality of taking all of our data and learning over these years, and particularly in 2020, to just help them do better, help them help themselves.
Okay, so 2 questions. To the guys that are listening and watching, and we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube, and we are live on Clubhouse, which Janine, hopefully you can hang out with us for a few minutes afterwards, just on here and talk about it. Two questions. What is the one go-to item in a hotel's gift shop that you always buy? So guys, comment right now and let me know. For me, I usually go to peanut M&Ms or or Cheez-Its. Is that weird? Or is that a bestseller?
Cheez-Its are a bestseller. M&M Peanut is definitely a bestseller.
So guys, comment, let me know what your most popular item that you always go to when you're staying at a hotel or that you guys sell that is your most popular item. And then I'm going to pull up the guide that we're giving away for free. So it's rupesh.co/Impulsify. You'll get the guide right now. And so Elisa says gum. I think there's a bunch of people that like get waters. I think water's popular. So
water is so popular.
In your free guide of just beverages, inside of beverages, because you have sodas, you have the most popular waters, specialty waters, juices and teas, milk. Like, I didn't realize milk was like a thing inside of a gift shop.
Huge because of the protein craze.
Nice.
So milk, protein drinks, and hard-boiled eggs. Can't keep them on the shelf.
All right. So here, and surprisingly, can you guess the most popular item for water? Like, what brand is the most popular brand when you talk about water? And it's actually my favorite, which is not a surprise. Can anybody guess?
Tell Robert Williams he can't respond.
Yeah, Robert, if you're watching, you can't respond. And same goes to you, Martin. You can't respond. All right, so the number one item for water in the water category, it is a 20-ounce Dasani, which I could understand because I like Dasani a lot. But this entire guide, like, it has every category and it breaks it down to like what's the most popular. Then it tells you what the average retail price should be. So like for energy drinks, you could buy it at $1.69, which should be your cost. So when you're buying things, like if it's higher than that, you have to figure out what your profit margins are. And if it's lower than that, you might have a deal where you might be able to get more and try to get it, especially if it's a top three, because you know you're going to sell it, right? This is just like a guide that that you could take. And so the average retail price for an energy drink is $4.07, which is big. It's a pretty good healthy profit margin. And I love that you have the entire guide for this. So guys, if you want to download the free guide, go to rupesh.co/Impulsify. And I like that everyone's saying that they're going for energy drinks, Diet Coke, beef jerky, water, Tylenol, which Tylenol is actually a big thing, especially when you're talking about Miami, Vegas. Where else is Tylenol popular?
Just nationwide. Those little 2-pack of Tylenol in a hotel, kind of hanging on the wall. We get those through Convenience Valley, a great partner to us. That Advil and Tylenol are the two top selling, what we call OTCs, over the counter, that you can sell in the hotel. And it's one of those things where it seems so small, but a guest appreciates it so much in their moment of need. Another category that we found is the little just kind of grab and go electronics. I left my charger in the Uber. I forgot this. I don't have a cable. We've partnered with a company called Zipcord that brings just a small, great box of Apple, Android, the basics, so that a guest has those in a pinch. It matters. It super matters. And it's going to turn. It's going to make you revenue. But they also just appreciate it so much. So it should be equal parts guest experience and revenue.
I know we can go down to each part of what you guys do and break it down to, like, we can even take an example of a hotel. And I think people would love this. Like, we go and take an example of the actual hotel that you see there before, and then we transform it into like this thing that makes them a lot more money.
Yes.
And I'm following you guys. So guys, please follow the Impulsify LinkedIn page. I think we put it in the comments there. Definitely get this free guide. Janine, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
You too. Thank you so much. I'm so encouraged by all that you do for the industry. Truly.
Thank you. I love that. We all continue growing, and that's my goal. It's not for me to just go by myself. No, nothing happens by yourself. It's always a team effort, right? I love that you guys are building this company. And guys, if you want if you learned anything from this, download the free guide and then go follow Janine. Like, her posts are amazing. They're inspiring, and they've inspired, I think, 1.5 million people a couple weeks ago. And so I love that you continue growing yourself. Janine, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'm sure you're going to be on again in the future. And I'm sure that as we build back this industry, that we're going to see each other again at some hotel conferences.
We are already signing up for high tech, for all. We're doing a show in Texas. Very excited to see people, not hug them anymore maybe, but just can't wait to be able to see people in person again.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Robert and the team. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Guys, this episode is sponsored by Impulsify. Thank you so much to Impulsify. Let me pull up the banner real quick. Guys, if you loved this episode and you want to follow Janine, hit the like button first and thank her for offering these amazing tips and strategies. And a lot of people don't consider design as a thing, but it's a huge thing when you're talking about your marketplace inside your hotel. Janine, it's a pleasure having you on. We will talk to you soon. And Janine, can you stick around for afterwards?
I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay. I'll put you behind the stage. We're going to, guys, after this episode or after the live on LinkedIn, we're going live on Clubhouse. So if you want a free invite, I have 5 that just came to me this past week. You have to have an Apple, an iOS phone, or an iPad, and I'll send you an invite. It's amazing. I've connected with so many amazing people that I don't even connect on LinkedIn with that are doing amazing things in hospitality. So opportunity for all of us to learn and grow. Janine, it's a pleasure. Stand by. I'm going to put you behind the stage and we'll get you on in a minute. All right, guys, this was awesome. I wrote down a bunch of things that can help me grow, and I want you to grow too. So download the free guide at rupesh.co/Impulsify. And guys, thank you so much for joining this episode. Next week, I'm super excited about this, is we have Rafat Ali with Skift. If you ever read any of his articles on skift.com, you have to join us. We're talking about the future of hospitality and travel and what the disruptors are that are going to change all of our businesses as we move forward and grow our industry. So guys, join me next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, please take care of each other. Please take care of yourself. And I will see you on Clubhouse after this. By the way, we're now live on, or after this episode, you'll be able to rewatch this, listen to this on YouTube and on Spotify now. So I'll put the link in the comments. And guys, thank you so much. Talk to you guys next week.